Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Robert from ASAP Security. We're making this video today to troubleshoot the difficulties that you're having to access your cameras remotely from your smartphone or your tablet. This can happen often for some clients, and some clients will never experience this issue. The ones that are having this problem, it's caused from a couple different reasons. The most popular being that the internet service provider has changed an IP address that we use to access the router and the DVR that's at your home or your business. So the first thing that we want to do when you're troubleshooting this issue is bring up the app on your smartphone. Now, when you open the app on your smartphone, you'll most likely see your cameras, all 8 of them or all 16 of them, or just one. So when you do that, it's going to look something like this. Okay. At the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a circle with 3 lines, and you're going to want to click on that. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to this next section, which is basically a drop down, and you'll see live view. Live view is what we're seeing real time. Remote playback is pulling up footage in the past that's on your hard drive, which we have another video on how to do that. But we want to click on devices. And once we click on devices, you're going to see this right here. Now, this is basically a list of all the DVRs that you have inside this app. Most of you folks will have 1, 2, or 3. If you just have a one system, then you'll have, it'll say home or house. If you have a couple different locations, it'll have all the names of those systems and what you named them to. Okay? But if we're just talking about one system, then you're going to click on your system, and it's going to bring up a page that looks like this right here. Okay? And once you get here, then it's going to have the name of the system, okay? Whether it's home or restaurant, whatever we named it. Register mode is IP/domain. And then this section right here says address, okay? The address, that's the remote IP address that the system is, your router is using to log in remotely off-site. And to identify if that has changed, then we're simply going to go to a website called canyouseeme.org. Okay? canyouseeme.org. Once I get there to canyouseeme.org, it's giving me an IP address. Our IP address, our remote IP address at our office is 47.144.202.78. Now, this is dedicated and specifically for our business and this location of our router. Okay, so everybody's going to have a different remote IP address. Nobody's going to have the same. Port check tool is basically a doorway. So a port is something that we do when we're installing your camera system and we do some networking on your router. A port is pretty much a doorway that lets your phone access your DVR through the router. Okay, and the port that we use, the doorway that we open through that router is going to be port 8000. So I want to make sure that the internet service provider at the business or at the home, number one, hasn't closed this port automatically. So I'm going to do port 8000 and I'm going to click check port. And if everything's good with that port, then I'm going to get success. They can see the service and that it's not being blocked. However, if a port is being blocked, and let's say I put in 8000, but for this demonstration we're going to use 7000, and I hit that check port, it's going to say error. So that means that the port is closed. So if you get that with 8000, then that means that basically we have to open port 8000 again for your router. Basically open the door again. Okay. So back to this IP address. The IP address that you get on your system, on your canyouseeme.org, we want to make sure that this IP address right here is the same as the IP address that we get right here. Okay? We want to make sure that's the same. If it's not the same, and if it's changed, then you're going to take the IP address that you see right here and enter it right here. Right here, an address. And obviously port's going to say 8000 because that's your remote doorway. You're going to confirm that the username is the same, and you're going to put the password in there. Okay, and then once you put the password in there and everything's the same, that stuff usually doesn't change. Then you're going to see something that looks like this. At the very top right hand corner, after you put that in there, you'll see a disk inside of the circle. Okay, and once I have that disk in the circle, and I made sure that this address is the same as canyouseeme.org. This is port 8000. The username is going to be admin most likely, and your password is your password, which you know. I'm going to click on the disk, and I'm going to save that information. And once I click the save, I'm going to get this. So obviously the name that it's named, my port or my address, right, which is the same as canyouseeme.org, port 8000, my username admin, and then my password. If it says password weak, don't worry about that. You can change that whenever you want to. But right below this, you'll see Start Live View. So once you click Start Live View, your cameras will pop up, and then you shouldn't have any problems. Okay. But again, troubleshooting, the number one cause of you not being able to access your cameras is because a couple different things. You're on the same Wi-Fi network as your DVR. You cannot be on your Wi-Fi network at your home or your business when you're trying to look at the DVRs remotely. Okay? You can't do it. It's the same network. There's going to be a conflict there. So you have to be on your data, or you have to be on somebody else's Wi-Fi network. Okay? Remember, it's remote access. If you're on site, you should probably look at the monitor or something like that. Okay? So we want to make sure that the address is the same, ports open, and you hit save, and everything pops up. And if your ISP, Internet Service Provider, change this, make sure that stays updated inside your phone app. Once again, my name is Robert with ASAP Security, and this has been an instructional video on how to troubleshoot why your cameras are not popping up on your smartphone. Have a nice day.